Hello, everybody. Okay, so we are going to be continuing with the tier elements gameplay. Now, I would like to show my deck that I will be using and I have been using. Um, so I am running a 60 card deck, um, which is quite a lot and can be very risky, but if all things go to plan, it is usually very good. So we run two DD Crows, which are just negates for most gameplays. We run a Cyberstein, which can be very useful, especially in circumstances where we want to bring in a big fusion monster. We run a Herald of Orange Light, which when incorporated with one of these fairy earth monsters, can be very good. We run three Maxis. Everyone knows Maxi is broken. You always want to have one in hand. It makes people feel very frustrated and make them want to use one of their negates early on. We use Diviner of the Herald, also very good. It's my only real way to bring out one of our main big guys, uh, Bernard Fleur, very broken. But yeah, I can bring him out with either Herald of Orange Lights or Diviner of Herald, which is pretty good. Then we move on to our main Tearlaments guys. We got Tearlaments Merly, run two of those. Um, then we've got a Crystal Beast Emerald Tortoise, which is very good, as he's an Aqua type, so we can fuse him with any of the Tearlands fusions. And the only reason we have him in is to be able to use to bring out Primeval Planet Perelerino, by having this Rainbow Bridge of Salvation in the graveyard and removing it to bring out the Crystal Beast monster and our field spell. Moving on, we have one Ash Blossom, just because why not? Then we got two Tearlaments Heaviness. We run two Necroface, just because I banish a lot of guys, and then if I do have him in, we are able to recycle our whole deck basically. Fairytale Snow, I might bring in another one of her, just because she's very broken, um, as I'm able to bring her from the graveyard as many times as I can, which is very good for Link summoning and XYZ. We've got a Supreme Sea Mare, basically the same as the Tearlaments Rhino Heart, just for more space in the deck. Then we got two Tearlaments Sheeran, very good. Two Tearlaments Rhino Hearts, could run three of them, but just running two for the URs. Then we got two Kaldos, yeah, three Medoras, just basic Ishiza support. Very good for milling out the deck. The same with here, two Kelbeck and two Agitos. Then we run a Shadol Beast, just able to draw a card, be able to use it as a fusion material for um, the Mud Dragon, always good. Then we also have the Sea Turtle Kaiju, which is a good way to get rid of your opponent's monsters, as well as being an Aqua, so it can fuse into other guys. Then I've seen a couple people use this Gizmic monster. Good to just have a level 8 if I want to be able to synchro summon into one of the Defleur, or just have an extra body to link summon away. The Winged Dragon of Raw Spear mode. Now, if you got him on your second turn, you can literally get rid of three of your opponent's guys, which is awesome. I run a Foolish Burial, a Reinforcement of the Army, just good way to get Rhino Hearts and just potentially fuse or whatever it is. Terraforming, bring out our field spell. A gold sarcophagus. Mostly would use it to bring out a Necroface, banish 5 cards from both players' decks, and then bring them out and play them to retrieve them to make it more powerful. Always good. Foolish Burrow Goods would usually throw out this Rainbow Bridge to be able to use its ability, or potentially a Celiac so I can get a Tier Elements monster if my hand is looking light. Grass is always greener. Grass looks always greener. Very good card. You never know how this plays out. If somebody has a negate, oh well. But if they don't, then you're usually really ahead because your opponent will have most of the time 35 cards, and then you can mull at least 20. So that's always good in your first turn. Got a couple of those. Then a triple tactics talent. Can be good. Draw 2 cards. Take control of one of your monsters. Uh, Look at your opponent's hand. If they used Maxi or something during your turn, get rid of one of those cards. Yeah, always good. Then Primeval Planet, always good. Be able to add one of the Tearlaments cards, plus 500 attack. Be able to destroy a card in the field once fusion summoning. Then we got Tearlaments Scream. Most probably should be running more of these in my deck, just because when it gets sent to the graveyard, be able to draw, uh, be able to add a trap card from the deck to my hand, or it also loses 5 attack and mills 3 cards, which is always good. Super Modernization, most of the time, good to use. You get rid of a card, and then you can, if you fusion summon one of your TLMS monsters that's on the field, you're able to use its ability afterwards. That's pretty good. Twin Twisters, some occasions it's pretty good as you're able to destroy 2 spells traps on the field. You could even use yours. For example, if I wanted to destroy this Rainbow Bridge or this to use their abilities, then Call by the Grave, you gotta have it. Always good. Crossout Designator. Yep, that's why I run the one Ash Blossom. Might have it in my hand, and then somebody uses it, be able to negate. Got most of the negate cards in my deck, so I'm able to banish those and negate them. Terms, Heartbeat, on good to use on some occasions. Especially if you got a Tearlaments in your hand, you can send it to the graveyard to use its ability. And then if it goes to the graveyard, then you can target one of your Tearlaments traps, add it to your hand, be able to use that for defense on the next turn. Um, we have a Exchange of the Spirit, just for the Guidos and the Shizu support, be able to mill more or set a trap if you send Callback or Guido. Um, yeah, it's pretty good, especially if we link it up with Gravekeeper's Trap, then your opponent literally can't do anything from the graveyard, which is very good. Uh, Evenly matched, just I've got pissed off by people using this, so I'm like, oh, might as well just throw a couple of those in there. Infinite Permanence, also, yeah, always good to have. Talked about Rainbow Bridge. Tyrion's Matonoise. Yeah, if this goes to the graveyard, you can target one of your Tyrion's monsters in your graveyard, add to your hand. You can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and just send that, make it face down defense position, which is pretty good. Tyrion's Crime, very good negate for anything. If you got Tyrion's on the field, always good. And if it's into the graveyard, you can target one of your banished Tearlaments monsters, add to your hand, which is also nice. Celiac, talked about, you can negate, send away one of your Tearlaments, use its effects, and then go on to, if it's into the graveyard, add a Tearlaments monster from your deck to your hand, which is very good. And then Gravekeeper's Trap. being able to send a card from your hand to the graveyard, um, which you'll be able to use its ability and add another Shizu support card to your hand, which is pretty good. Then we got Mud Dragon, just a fusion, the same types usually. One of the Shizu monsters and one of my dark, either DD Kuro or as we said earlier, maybe even a Necroface or a Shadow Beast, just to bring out a level 4 so that we can do some different plays, either link it away or XYZ and so on. Tearlaments Kigelo is very broken. You can literally can do everything with this card. You do everything with this card. You add a Tearlaments card, spell, trap, monster, whatever it is. Would usually use its ability to add a Merrily, so we can use it to bring out our Sprite's Elf, and then bring add more cards into the field to be able to link them away. Um, but if we do have a Merrily in the hand, then we won't be doing that. We'll be able to add a Scream or something like that to be able to just mill more cards. And then when you activate its ability, you can bring a Tearlaments monster from your graveyard or your hand to the field and send it away. And then once you've sent it away, you're able to mill the top 5 cards of your deck, which is very good for this deck. Pretty Plant, always good. You make their monster go to a level 1 and negate their effects. You have to use a fusion monster and a dark monster, so either a Kid Kalos or Mud Dragon we usually do use. Tearlaments, Rukalkos. Yep, pretty solid card. Negates a monster's ability or a person's card effect. You can negate the activation, and if you do destroy it, then send one Tearlaments card from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard, which can be good to activate effects. You can also send itself to the graveyard, and then if this card is sent by a card effect to the graveyard, you can bring itself back, which is pretty good. Tearlaments, Kaleido Hearts, yeah, pretty good. You gotta use Rhino Hearts and 2 Aquas. You return 1 card on the field to the player's deck, which is very good. Whenever an Aqua monster is like fusion summoned or whatever, so that's pretty good. Um, and then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card, and if you do send one Tearlaments card from your deck to the graveyard, which is very good. We've spoken about how to bring out Bar on the Floor. Very rarely we do so, but when we do, very good card. Bro, you never want to see this card played against you. It's got a negate, you can destroy a card on the field, and you can even bring out a level 9 or lower monster in your graveyard, and then return this card. On some occasions, that is good if you're able to use its negate ability on your opponent's turn early on. Abyss Dweller, mostly for Tearlaments players, so that your opponent can't use stuff from its graveyard. Pretty good. Um, Time Thief, a very nice card in some instances, 2400 attack. Um, I would, if I do brick and I'm able to bring out 2 level 4s through Yugioh supports or Sheeran or something like that, and I'm not able to fusion something, anything, then I can just attack with him and then bring out the big boss, Zeus, um, and then use his ability to destroy every card on the field, which is pretty good. You can also get attach the top card of your opponent's deck during each standby phase, and then send that card away. If it's a monster, you banish this card. If it's a spell, you draw a card. If it's a trap, place 1 card on the field to 1 card your opponent controls to their deck, which is pretty good. And then, especially if you have a Tearlaments card attached to us, you can send it to the graveyard, and then that will activate its effect on your opponent's turn. Or just keep it if you have enough negates. Zeus, as we said, you gotta summon this by attacking with one of our XYZ monsters, which is pretty good. Um, you detach two of the materials and then destroy every card on the field, which is very nice. Um, Also, once per turn, if another card you control is destroyed by a battle opponent's effect, you can attach one card from your hand deck or extra deck to this card as material, which is pretty good. Masquerena. She's very good. You're able to link in your opponent's turn if they activate something that destroys a card that you don't want to destroy, but if you have to, as we were saying, very good card. Be able to link out on your opponent's turn. It's counts as two links, so yep, pretty self-explanatory. Spread out one of level twos, bring out a level two. Yep, very solid card. Nightmare Unicorn. On some occasions, we do bring this out, not that often, but when we do, it's pretty nice. You can also use this as a three-link summon to bring out Axo's Code Talker. So if we got like a Fairy Tale Snow in the graveyard, and then you've just been recycling him, you can summon out the unicorn and then link them off to summon him, and then he also gets a 3,000 boost from that. Um, Also, unicorn, you can bring a card, return a card from the field to player's deck. Very good. Then we got Mecha Knight Crusadia. A very good card. Hard to deal with. But yeah, usually link summoning him by using Sprite Elf and Masquerena after using Sprite Elf's effect. Very solid defense. Hard to deal with. As we said earlier, access code talker, usually use a unicorn or any other combination, just these four cards. And then if we've just got like a Sprite Elf and a Masquerena, he'll just get 2,000 attack. Um, and then 3,000 if we do have a Nightmare Unicorn. And yeah, you'd be able to remove them from play, especially you got like Sprite Elf and a Masquerade able to banish both. But if you've only got like two of these in the graveyard, because you can only remove the one attribute per turn. So you would idealistically like to have Sprite Elf in the graveyard when you're activating it. Underworld Goddess, a very good card. For plus effect monsters, you're able to use one of your opponent's monsters. So if it's a hard card to deal with, it's very nice that you can just link it away. Um, you're able to negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls, and then it also has a negate for the monsters in the graveyard, which is very cool. So yeah, that's the deck list, guys. That's what I've been running. Last season I got Diamond One, um, and also I got to the qualifiers with Konami. Unfortunately, I didn't have that much time to play, so I only placed like 8,000th or whatever it was. But if I did have more time to play, I feel like I could have gone much higher. But yeah, that's my deck list, guys. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing my deck. And now I'm going to be going into some gameplay in the next video, most probably, because I just want to have this video out so that you guys can see what my deck runs and like what my thoughts are on the reasons that I have these cards in my deck. I actually forgot. I do want to add one card that I always forget about adding. Uh, this guy, Naturia Exterior. So him, only way we can bring him out is by using Cyberstein, but he's very good. You banish the top card, you send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, and you banish a card from your graveyard, and you can negate any activation and if you destroy the card. So that this card is very broken. If you can't bring him out, yeah, good stuff. Uh, I think I think I'm going to take out. These link fours. I got so many, but like there's just instances where you need them, you know. Uh, but I think I'll most probably just get rid of um swamp. I don't want to get rid of swamp. Maybe let's get rid of predator plant. Dragostapelia, and we'll see how it goes. Saving there, and yeah. Thank you, peoples. We will see how this goes.